All right, so we're in here, y'all. We're in here, and we're talking about how information is disseminated, how information travels and migrates. And we're also talking about cultural appropriation. So information over human history has migrated in a few different ways. Originally, things were traveled by oral traditions. They were oral traditions. People would tell stories. They would remember these stories. Like Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, these are epic poems. People remembered them. I would assume maybe like it would probably be easier if there was like one homie who remembered one part and another homie who remembered another part and then another homie who remembered another part, and they just like rolled together. I don't know if that's how it went down, because the Iliad, the Odyssey, that is long. But you have to assume that if there's a single homie remembering that whole work, that whole epic, that entire epic poem, you have to assume that things are getting changed or maybe, lost in between the various different people who are carrying that story. So oral tradition. And then obviously things started to get written down, so through text. And then if we just fast forward to where we are right now, obviously we have recordings. But then the interesting thing with dance, this is what's so beautiful about dance, is that it's a tradition that is passing through bodies. It's through really a different type of memory that's inside the body. So we're not verbally communicating to one another. We're communicating through gesture and abstraction of the body. And I think that is super cool. So then that brings us to hip hop. Hip hop is at a stage where it hasn't been codified and written down in the same way as dance forms like ballet. Like for instance, let's take a look here. Look at this. So this is the Kirov, right? And, there are all these ballet pieces that are super old. I don't know which one they're rehearsing, but there's someone who is an expert in some sort of choreography, and that's nice. I love it. Imagine right now hip hop being explained, exchanged, and shared in the same way. In certain ways it is at this point, right? You have, in a lot of different arenas, a teacher that's very delicate and very careful about how the movements are absorbed and learned by their students. So in a certain way, we're getting to that point with hip hop, whereas in the origin, it was kind of like, you see somebody, you react, you respond, you mirror. It's kind of like what some people will refer to as each one teach one, right? But now we've gotten to a point, if you look on YouTube and you have those Millennium Dance Complex videos where that somebody was like, you gotta have your pinky finger right here. If it's up here, then that's completely wrong. So you're starting to get the same type of thing going. Look at how poised she is and watching her dancer. So this is a way that tradition, culture, information is shared, exchanged, and passed through generations and even across borders. So, this is in Russia. I think there's a Kirov school in DC. So that's one way that information is disseminated. Wow. Look at her. She loves it. The point that I'm trying to make is that there are guardians of information. There are guardians of knowledge. And whether it's through some sort of oral sharing or whether it's through written lexicon or if it's through just kind of mirroring, monkey see, monkey do, the information is going to travel. It's going to move from person to person. And some things are going to be forgotten. Some things are going to be memorized. But, you can't hold on to everything.